Some of the most unforgettable travel days are about more than just what you see. They're about the whole experience, from start to finish. Today, we're diving into one of those perfect days, a story about a trip out into the Atlantic, right off the coast of the Azores. And like all great sea stories, this one starts right at the docks. So here's where it all kicks off. We're not in the middle of the ocean just yet. We're on the pier in Ponta Delgada. The boat for the day's adventure, well, it's perfectly named the Moby Dick. You can just feel that buzz of anticipation in the air before they've even untied a single rope. The real adventure, it often starts way before you actually cast off. On the Moby Dick, it began with the people. It's just a great reminder that sometimes who you meet along the way is just as memorable as the views. So get this, before a single whale was even on the horizon, there was this instant connection. Just sharing a beer, swapping stories about family history on the island of Sao Miguel, it turned what could have been just another tourist trip into something really personal. It grounded the whole adventure in a real sense of place. All right, so with that great friendly vibe all set, the Moby Dick finally pushed off. You see the wake turning behind the boat, the shoreline gets smaller and smaller, and then you get that unique feeling of hitting the open water, where the land just disappears and it's nothing but you, the deep blue sea, and the sky. And that's always the big question, isn't it? You head out there full of hope, but hey, nature doesn't make any promises. So what were they actually going to find out there in the deep? Well, let me tell you, the Atlantic did not disappoint. The day quickly went from being a really pleasant boat ride to a front row seat at one of the most incredible shows on Earth. And then there it was, the moment everyone had been holding their breath for. And not just one whale, but a mother and her calf, just moving together through the water. Can you imagine how quiet it must have gotten on that boat as everyone just watched? Our traveler said that a photo just couldn't do it justice. And isn't that so true for moments like this? There's no camera in the world that can capture the sheer size of them or the sound of their breath as they spout water into the air. Some sights you just have to burn into your memory. Just when everyone probably thought, okay, that was the highlight, nothing can top that, the ocean revealed it had an encore performance. The show was definitely not over yet. And boom, suddenly the entire energy changes. A huge pod of dolphins just explodes out of the waves. If the whales were all about that serene, quiet majesty, the dolphins were pure high-octane action, leaping, chasing, hunting right there next to the boat. A totally different vibe, but absolutely just as breathtaking. A day like that doesn't just end when you step back on solid ground. The ocean, it leaves its mark on you. The whole adventure stays with you, and I mean that quite literally. Ah yes, the less glamorous but very, very real souvenirs from a day out at sea. I mean, getting soaked by waves, feeling that crust of salt dry on your skin, and of course, that nice warm glow of a proper sunburn. It's the physical proof that you were really out there. So how do you possibly top off a day of elemental adventure like that one? Well, with a taste of the local culture, of course. The final chapter of this amazing day, it takes place on a dinner plate. So our traveler, who's Hungarian, sits down to a plate of Azorean octopus stew and finds this totally surprising sense of comfort. This rich, savory dish reminded them of a classic pork stew from back home. It's amazing how food can do that, right? Bridge thousands of miles and connect a foreign port right back to your own kitchen. But of course, there was one very important and pretty funny difference. It's just a perfect testament to how incredibly fresh the seafood is in a place like the Azores. I mean, you really can't get any more local than that. And that really brings us to the end here. This whole day, from the people on the boat to the whales, the dolphins, the salty skin, and that octopus stew, it was a full-on sensory journey. It gets you thinking, doesn't it? What's the most unexpected taste or sight or feeling from your own travels that connected you to a place in a way you just never saw coming?